What's up, everybody? Welcome back to This Took Forever. I'm Syrena, or Bean, whichever. And Lemon has joined us today. Il Doodle. So, I thought we would talk about how this all kind of got going. And yes, excuse the disaster on my dining room table in the kitchen because I'm cleaning out my garage. So, I thought about the day that everything really got rolling. Now, if you're finding me, it's probably because you're either in the midst of a journey or you're about to start one. Maybe you don't know what's going on. Maybe you're thinking about it. And maybe some of the stuff I've been through will resonate with you and you'll know you're not alone. That's essentially why I feel like I'm supposed to do this. I don't really have a exact agenda or end goal, I guess. It's not really. I just know I'm supposed to leave the breadcrumbs, you know? I know how grateful I am for the ones that I found when I was going through it. It wasn't everything I needed, but it was just enough. It was just enough to float me through. And I thought, okay, if I survive this, then I should probably tell my story so that it can help someone else, because I legit thought I was going crazy. There's still some days that I wonder, because it goes against everything that you've ever been told. It goes against everything you've been taught for most of us. It's not religion. It's not what you think it is. It's not about being punished for your sins. It's not any of that. It's about waking up and realizing that you're a soul. You have a body right now, but you came from the other side. Your soul came from somewhere else. You're not a human. I mean, you're having a human experience because this is the vessel you're in right now. Start looking it up. Anything and everything that I'm telling you, I encourage you, if you're curious, start doing your own research. Start exploring this for yourself. That's how this works. It starts with you. It's there's going to be people in your life that inspire you, and there's going to be people in your life that upset you. There's going to be people in your life that are blocks, and maybe those blocks or those things are to get you to start asking questions. People are so uncomfortable, and basically that's what happened to me. That's essentially, I got so uncomfortable in my life that I was like, there's got to be more to this than what I'm seeing, because I feel horrible. Now, here's the crazy part. The day that I decided I'm done, it was Christmas Day, 2022. I was sitting there. Everything in my life was perfect. From the outside looking in was absolute perfection. Big 2-story house, 4 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, 2 big living rooms, 2 cars, like the American dream. I had it. I had it all. The kids, the dog, the husband, the jobs, the insurance, all of it. Yeah, the mortgage, the cars, all of it. Yeah, dog, white picket fence. Well, not fence, but yeah. I had it all, but I was miserable. Why? Right? Because that is what I should be happy. Because that is what I've been told my whole life. Have the kids, get the husband, have the job, have the money, have the cars, have this, have the vacations. Now, the vacations were awesome. Those are some of my kids' best memories. So I do not regret that. But, so at the end of the day, I was still absolutely miserable. And it had nothing to do with materialistic stuff, because I had it all. I didn't need more money. I was empty. It's because I was fulfilling everybody else's wants and dreams and needs. It wasn't what I truly wanted. I'd been told that's what I wanted. And then I had it and I was like, this isn't what I want. So essentially, I was like, okay, something's got to give. And y'all, listen, when I tell you that was one of the hardest things I ever had to do, it was. And if you've done it and it was hard, and I didn't take great pleasure in it, I knew what was going to happen. I knew what it entailed. But that's truly what I wanted. I was done. I'd been done for quite some time. It wasn't like I just woke up one day and went, screw it. That was just the day that it all came to head. That's just the day it all happened. And it was so scary because the next day is the day the words left my mouth, and I was so terrified. But everybody else around me was upset. Obviously, the ex-husband was upset and everyone's freaking out, whatever. But I was so relieved. I felt terrible. I did. I felt very guilty. I felt all the stuff. I felt horrible that I was breaking his heart. I felt horrible that my family was that part of my life was going to end. I knew there was going to be a lot of grieving. I just didn't know to what extent. Um, I was living in a prison, basically, mentally and emotionally and spiritually, if you will, but physically as well, is essentially what it turned to. But I wasn't free to just do what I wanted, and I refused to ever live that way again. So, and there's people out there who are like, "Oh, well, it's the man's job to what? Yeah, it's cool, good, great. You know what? That's fine. I just don't have those biblical feelings towards stuff anymore. I just don't have it, and I feel like I can do both roles. Men can do both roles. Sometimes we have to. Sometimes we have to be mom and dad. Sometimes we have to be woman and man. Sometimes you have to go and deal with the car battery, and you also have to cook dinner. It happens. I don't know. It's called life, and I'm doing just fine at it. There's some stuff I don't want to do, but I fix it. Like, I just go, okay, well, I don't want to have to do yard work. Okay, cool. Well, I live somewhere where I don't have to do yard work. Yes, I do pay, but that's that, right? So anyway, here's the deal. Once I finally, I'm going to call this tore the veil, I chose myself, because the night that I was sitting there, I really thought that being not here anymore, you catch my drift, was a better option than telling my husband at the time that I wanted a divorce. That's how much I didn't want to hurt him. I knew how much control he wanted over me. It wasn't even about love, because that's not, I now know it wasn't about love. That whole thing was not about love. He was losing control of me, and being able to speak up and break that control was just so weird. Okay, so I don't know, this, if I get a phone call, it messes everything up. So welcome back. All right, I'm gonna have to try to figure out how to merge these two together. Anyway, okay, back to what we were talking about. Okay. I was relieved when I said I wanted a divorce. I felt guilty. Like, it was heavy. It was hard. But that's the night that I laid in bed, and I was so overcome with guilt and shame and fear. And I was like, all right, God, come get me. I know you're coming for me. I was like, I know you're going to punish me. I thought he was sending me to hell. I thought all of it. I thought it was all coming. All the bad parts of the Bible, he was coming for me because I wanted a divorce. And yeah, that's really what I thought. I was wrong. But yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I thought was going to happen. That's what I thought was coming for me. And I just cried, and I just begged God for forgiveness. And I was just like, I just gave him my soul and surrendered. That was real surrender. And like I said, that was really the first time I chose myself, in a sense of, my computer just dinged. I chose myself. I chose myself. You can call me selfish. I don't care. That's fine. That's fine. I'll be selfish. I'll be whatever. My kids were perfectly fine. They've bounced back. Everything is great. I'm happy. I'm so much happier and so much more. I'm at peace. That's what I'm going to say. The happiness hasn't really quite. I finally have peace. I'm not in survival mode anymore. That's what I'll say. I'm not in survival mode. Abundant happiness hasn't quite happened. It is happening. It's happening very quietly, not overwhelmingly, which that's okay. But this spiritual awakening, that's the day it really got kicking. That's the day everything just went wild. And pretty much from that day forward was, whew, quite the adventure. A lot of mistakes, a lot of things, you know, you're healing, you're just trying to navigate life for the first time as an adult by yourself, like alone. I'd never been divorced with 3 kids in my 40s before. Well, I was 40, but I just turned 40. But yeah, I don't know. So, face is all itchy, allergies. Anyway, I think that was just really the tear. That was me choosing myself, being selfish, being whatever, going against the Bible, going against everything that I'd ever been taught about marriage and submit to your husband and blah, 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 But the day that I told him I wanted a divorce, he told me, "You're right." He said, "When we got married, I've always treated you like I owned you, like you were my property." I know. I know what I was feeling. I know how he treated me. And anybody who has anything to say otherwise, as far as I'm concerned, you didn't sleep in my bed and you didn't pay my bills. So you weren't there. I'm sure he has his own opinions about our marriage, and that's fine. And the fact that he went and is already trying to do it again even before I got divorce papers should tell you I wasn't that bad of a wife, because he was ready to do that again. Me, on the other hand, no thanks. Yeah, God himself is going to have to come and sit down and be like, "This the one." Like, but I think my person, he knows how scared I am of marriage. He knows how terrified I am of it. And he's not pushing anything. He's not pushing a relationship like that of physical anything. It's all just, he literally is my best friend. And that's all that it is at the moment, is he's my best friend, but I love him. And it's, I just, it's been so nice to be able to see him make amazing moves towards healing himself and building his life, and just watching another human being do it is really cool. I think God sent me to him and him to me. I don't know if it's forever. I don't know if it's anything. I just know, the dreams, everything, all the synchronicities, everything tied together, and it was really crazy. So man, I can't wait to talk about all that. And actually, I'm going in to get my tattoo in a couple weeks worked on. And I told him, I was like, we should call it the S&M show, Healing That Hurts So Good, because his name starts with M, I'm S, so S&M. And it's a tattoo, so it's pain, but it's pleasure too, because you get ink, right? So it's kind of funny. Oh, you want to go outside, Lemon? It's her universe. Scratch at the door. How'd you go? No, you just wanted me to open the door? She does this to me. Sometimes I think she just sits here and looks at me like I'm crazy. Huh, Poodle? She's not a poodle. She's a doodle, but whatever. Any hoots. Sorry, I'm still working on this whole tripod thing. Yeah, I think that we are, as society, the collective, if you will, is starting to wake up. And it's everybody. There's no rhyme, reason, no ifs, or ands, or buts. People aren't even asking for it, and it's happening, and it's kind of funny to watch. It's not funny when it's happening to you, and then it's like you just start wishing people happy dark night of the soul. And if you laughed at that, it's because the dark night of the soul is not a fun process. If that's where you are right now, it's okay. We should definitely do an episode of Dark Night of the Soul. I could do a whole series on that. That was heavy. Oh, that's where people need the most help, really. Sometimes understanding how you got there. It's usually some event where you probably felt like you were being selfish. You did something selfish, like the whole world's mad at you, like getting a divorce or quitting a job or whatever, which I did all of the above. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I ripped that veil and I just kept tearing. I gave God all my yeses, all the yeses. Yes, 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 yes. Now, I know before some people start going, Yes, I believe in God. I just am not religious. I'm not a Christian. I don't believe that Jesus died on the cross for our sins. I know everyone's about to have a stroke. I think Jesus was sent here to help us wake up. And he was sent here by God. But I think he was sent to help us wake up. I don't think he was here. I think he got killed because people didn't understand him. Thought he was a freak, thought he was dangerous. And he was definitely endangering the old Bible, the Old Testament Bible. He was endangering all of that. He changed everything as he was intended to. But for the people who are awake and the people who can read between the lines, the Bible and everything else becomes a tool, but a different kind of a tool. And if what I'm saying to you doesn't make any sense, it's okay. For those of you that it does, yeah, kind of crazy, right? And I'm not here to tell anybody what they should or shouldn't believe. Wherever you are in your walk is exactly where you're supposed to be. If it is in religion, if it's in Gnosticism, if it's in whatever, I don't know, whatever walk you're in. You might be a Buddha, you might be Hindu, there's so many different avenues to explore. Pick whichever one you want. I used to get so upset about that. I used to think God was going to send me to hell for not picking the right religion. I was so terrified. You have no idea how many nights I laid in bed and cried my eyeballs out, telling God to tell me which religion was correct because I didn't want to pick the wrong one. Yeah. So I picked the one that had the most crazy stuff. Seemed pretty basic, easy to follow. I figured these guys got it right. Not with the Baptists. Yeah. That's heavy. I know. You really want to feel bad about yourself, really be scared of God, go down that avenue. That was fun. Anyway, yeah, no more of that. No more church. No more big box for me. I'm good. But I'm definitely, because of my dreams and things that had happened, I'm definitely exploring more of that. But what if that's just, and that's just it. The dream started happening right after I left the husband. So that should tell you right there. Something to it. I don't know if I'm going to be able to connect this episode with the last one because I don't know anything about this crap. So I'm working on it. So some of the stuff might be a little wild. And you're like, the last one ended abruptly and then this one just kind of started abruptly. I was messing with stuff I didn't even know because I got a phone call is what happened. That seems to be what happens here. I need to start doing this on my iPad so that my phone will ring and not mess this up. It is what it is. Sorry, people. I'm not editing. What you see is what you get, folks. I don't really care. Anywho, so that's where it started. That's how all this got going. And let me tell you, what ensued after that was very weird. Because I remember laying in bed that night. It was so intense. Oh, it was so intense the night I made that decision. Oh, it was dark. It was a dark day. It was heavy. It was my dad's near-death story. His near-death experience story is what saved my life. That's why I stayed, is because of what he had told me. And I thought, there has to be a God. There's no way. My dad's living proof, right? But it wasn't religion. It was not religion that saved him. So that's where I'm at. So with that being said, yeah, I don't know. I don't think that I think it's a major event of selfishness that triggers this, or what perceives to be selfish. What perceives to be selfish. Yeah, that's what I think triggers this. I don't know. Maybe you can tell me what triggered yours because I'm very curious. I love hearing people's awakening stories. I love hearing all the weird crap people went through and all their weird lessons. Like I love hearing about it. It's fascinating to me how it resonates specifically just to you, because that's how mine is. I know that mine's not specific to anybody else. It's specific to me, as it should be. Because why would I want someone else's blueprint? Why would I want the blueprint to your life? That doesn't make any sense. I want the blueprint to my life, not yours. So that's how I feel about that. Oh, the blueprint. Yeah, more on that later. Oh, this is going to get so weird. Oh, heavens. All right. Okay. So I'm going to let you all go. Enough about veil tearing and other weird crap. Next episode, what should we talk about? Maybe we should talk about some of the really weird things that happened to me. Like, really weird things. I don't eat meat anymore. Caffeine's really hard on me. I can't eat anything like processed. There's only one like thing of junk food that I can eat anymore. At least it's so weird. Some really weird things. Like, and I'll tell you why this is so weird, because I was a junk food junkie. I've always been thin. I've always been slim. That's just my genetics. But like, I feel like I'm turning into like Syrena 2.0 since all this has been happening. And it's been happening like not in like a fine, even line. It's been messy. I'm telling you, this awakening stuff is messy. And all those judgmental people, I see you out there. It's okay. Your day's coming. Don't worry. And for all of you who are not judgmental people and you know what I'm talking about, I hear you. I feel you. And you are not alone. Welcome. Welcome to the channel. Because, yeah, we just going to do it. So there's no niche here at this channel. We're just doing what we're doing. And you can come along for the ride or don't. I don't really care. I'm posting these for me and whoever needs to find them. If you don't like it, that's cool. Keep on scrolling. Not gonna hurt my feelings. All right. Till next time, which I'm sure will probably be in 20 or 30 minutes when it hits. I need to take some notes, but we'll go over all the stuff that happened that was really weird that I did not expect. All right, everybody. Have a good day.